Greetings, this is Jim Lindsay. This is a tutorial over the Martian Manhunter project. And where do you find that? Well, I'm on the lessons page of Blackboard. You come down here to the Martian Manhunter folder, and then there's a folder down here for the Martian Manhunter project. You click on that, and there's the tutorial that you're watching, so good job on that. The instructions and the files that you need for this project come from the syllabus, quiz, papers, and homework page. I have that open right here, and you have to scroll down. And I know what you're seeing on my screen is a little bit different than what you see, but I make these videos before you can see this stuff, and so that's why there's kind of this weird look. I apologize for the discrepancy, but that's why you're seeing the weird differences. There's a folder here called Martian Manhunter project. You'll be able to see this after June 27th. All right. And it'll be available for 2 full weeks. It's not due until July the 10th, but if you want to get, I try to make these things available for 2 full weeks, so you have plenty of time if you're working in advance, so you can continue to work on these. When you open up this folder for the Martian Manhunter project, you'll see that there is a link to submit your work, as well as, let me go ahead and just make this to where it's going to look like when you use it. So there's a link that you're going to use to submit your work, as well as there are files you'll need from one of 2 groups. This is the same format that I use for the Flash project. I have 2 groups established. I have a northern group and a southern group, and you're in the same groups. If you were in the northern group in the Flash project, you're also in the northern group for the Martian Manhunter. If you were in the southern group for the Flash project, likewise. And so that's the setup for this project. Now let's go back to the instructions real quickly. Actually, I haven't showed you the instructions yet, so let me do that. So let's just real quickly choose a folder. I'm going to go with the southern group. Last time I used the northern group as the example, so this time I'll use the southern group. So these people with the last names listed right here, you are part of this folder. You'll click on the southern group folder and do, download your files and do your work from there. Northern people, you go from there. Make sure you use the right group, because if you turn in the wrong stuff, then you don't get a grade, or you'll get a grade of 0. So in other words, if somebody from the southern group turns in northern assignments, then you'll get a grade of 0. So pay attention to which one of these groups to which you are assigned. Okay, so let's go on into the southern group for this demonstration. You'll see that there are a number of files that you will use. First of those being instructions. So the southern group instructions for the Martian Manhunter project. I already have those downloaded, and I'm going to open those up. They look like this. This is a Word document, same format as what you saw with the Flash project as far as the format of the instructions. In this assignment, you're going to make 2 drawings, 2 Visio drawings. You're going to make an organization chart, and you're going to make a custom report. I've given you a drawing which you will then use to create a custom report. So those are the 2 things you'll be working on. Okay, you start this work by downloading the files that you're going to need. So obviously you have this instruction set. I would print this out if I were you. Having a hard copy of this is, I think, very beneficial. Then you can check off as you go. You say, I got the files I need. Now I've worked on this. Now I've worked on that, and I'm going to submit it now. And so you can, use the printed version of this as your checklist as you go. So you need to download files. You need, in this case, for the southern group, they're going to create an organization chart for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And so there's an Excel file that they need to download, as well as images, which are in a zip file. There's also a printed or completed version that you can use as the guide, this Harry Potter org chart.pdf. And for the northern group, you're going to have the same kind of deal, but you're going to do stuff for Star Wars. And so I have a Star Wars group and a Harry Potter group. And for both of those cases, you get an Excel file from which you can build your chart if you want to. The images inside of a zip folder, which I've taught you how to use, as well as a printed version in this PDF, so you can see exactly what it's supposed to look like. The exact details about what each drawing should look like are on the following pages here. So that's for the organization chart. The other two files you need you need a Visio file, which is the thing you download is called Type Your Name Here Southern Report. That's a VSDX file. So you're going to take that file, change the name of it, and then do your report work inside of that file. Now, this optional file can be downloaded and be used to help with your report work. This one is completely optional. If you want the Excel file, you'll recall when we were talking about creating reports and shape data, one of the things you could do, there was an automated process you could go through to populate shape data in drawings. And the shape data that you need to create this report is provided in this Excel spreadsheet. If you want to populate the shape data for the report with this, feel free to do so. That will, I think, cut your time in creating the report that I want you to make. If you want to type everything in manually, then you may do that. But I just provide this as a convenience. Hopefully that's going to assist you. Again, the instructions for each one of these drawings is provided in the subsequent 2 pages. When you're done, you're going to submit your 2 drawings, your org chart, which you'll make from scratch, and your report, which you're going to you're going to take this file and modify it, and submit those 2 files to the Martian Manhunter project link on Blackboard. All right, let's look at the details here. Let's look at the org chart first. Let me get my downloaded files. I'll do that. I'm going to jump to Blackboard, and so I'm going to just download these guys, put them on my desktop, and then I'll show you what to do next. All right, those guys are downloaded. There's the Excel file. There's the picture zip file. Here's the one I want to open right now, the Harry Potter org chart.pdf. I open that up, and this is a sample. Your completed thing should look exactly like this. And as you go through here and look at the different pages, you learned in the organization chart lesson how to make this kind of drawing. You know, it has hyperlinks in here so you can go back and forth between the pages. So I want you to make this drawing. The one thing I'll tell you about this, where it says this page is called leaders, this page is called good guys, this page is called bad guys. I had to put that name up here in the body for the example, but on your Visio project, on your Visio file, you'll be naming the tabs, naming the pages through the tabs at the bottom of the screen. Other than that, you know, you're basically creating that. How do you do that? Well, here's your sample. When you look at the instructions here, it says, you know, make your organization chart for the Harry Potter company. You know, look at that PDF as the guide. Use the zip file to create the pictures. You know, put in the following fields: the name, title, Wizarding House, and photos and all that stuff. So all the details are in here. You learn how to do this through the organization chart lesson. The specific look comes from page 5, from these following steps right here, from channel step 5 and these following steps. You know, it's like this sort of shape for this sort of Visio shape for the organization chart. You get that through the organization chart tab up at the conditional tab. Use this theme, the WISP theme. The background should be the vertical gradient background, and that title block is called module. And so if you use those things right there and follow these instructions, you will have the exact same looking drawing as I have. The shapes are right here. You'll see that with J.K. Rowling, she has the executive shape, and these people, basically her direct people reporting directly to her have a manager shape. You recall from the organization chart lesson, you can specify whether it's a executive shape, manager shape, position shape, staff shape, assistant shape, and so that's going to and like this is a consultant shape, and you can tell by looking at these different characters that they have different kinds of jobs. So for example, I'm going to go to page here, he has a couple of staff people working for him. You don't have to put this, like it says, note, these are staff shapes. You don't have to put that note on your drawing. And likewise, like this is a consultant shape. I just tried to put these bits of information here to help you figure out how to create this exact drawing. So that's the process for the organization chart. When you're done, save it and close it, and then you'll submit that organization chart. So again, the instructions on how to do all that are in that organization chart lesson, which you've already completed. The second drawing you complete that you make is a report, and you're going to take that one you downloaded, type your name here, Southern Report, or Northern Report if you're in the Northern group. That file looks like this for the Southern group. For the Southern group, it is a map, and as you look at this map, I'll get this paint out of the way just to make that a little bit bigger. As you look at the different shapes on this map, some fields that I want you to populate exist and some don't. When you went through the chapter lesson talking about shape data and reports, you learned how to create all this stuff, and what I want you to make a report for, or make a custom report, is shown right here. This there should be, you will end up with a Visio shape that includes all this stuff right here, and I want it to look exactly like this as far as like the column order. I want these guys to show up down here in the items in the report need to be in this particular order, and so that is described for you right in here. What you'll do is in the Visio drawing itself, work with that shape data as necessary. Once you create your custom report, which you will output as a Visio shape, cut it and paste it over here to this page, page 2, and then save and close your drawing. So that's the process for this drawing. It's a good, I think it's a really good assignment because it basically taxes you in lots of different ways. You have to remember how to, get into, like, how do you add your own fields. Once you've added your own fields to the multiple shapes, which are they need to be added to, then you have to go through the report process and create a custom report, which talks about each of those different pieces of shape data that you created. In addition to that, you then have to modify the report so that it displays that stuff in a specific order. Everything that we went through in the tutorials, you have to do in this assignment. Now, the people in the Northern group are going to work with a computer network drawing, whereas the people in the Southern group are going to work with a map. But the steps will be exactly the same. I mean, as far as how you do it, so nobody's getting slighted in any way. It's equally difficult for both different groups. All right. So that's the assignment. So you create this report. Then when you're done, you save and close it. And lastly, you just go back to that Martian Manhunter project link on Blackboard, which is right there on the syllabus quiz papers and homework page. Click on there and submit your 2 files, and that's how you do it. And it's due at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, July the 10th. So again, this will be available to you for 2 full weeks. Hopefully you're able to get in here a little bit early, and if you have questions, contact me and ask your questions. Thanks for your time and attention. Have a great day.